something that I've been putting off for 8 months now, which is painting again. I didn't even film the process where I covered up what was under the painting and put this new acrylic on just because. So I filmed it for short form, but I just really wanted to be in the moment and not worry about filming anything and just kind of emotionally let go with what this painting was prior. I did really like it, but it definitely always felt, ever since I like finished it, there was always something missing. So it never quite felt finished to me. And so now I'm gonna try to just revamp it. I really was inspired from my trip to Seattle when on the last day that we were there, I saw the most gorgeous sunset on Whidbey Island. It was purple, pink, cotton candy skies, so gorgeous. The sun was setting so perfectly. It was like a full bright orange ray of just beams of sunshine reflecting on the water to cap it all off. So we started walking away, and then I turned around for one last look at the ocean, and I was like, wait, what is that little like movement in the water? I kept watching, and sure enough, it was a fin, and then 2 fins, and then I think we saw like a family of 4 fins, like porpoises in the water, and it was just so magical. I was so inspired by that. It really made me want to kind of capture that in a painting. So I'm gonna attempt to do a revamped, refreshed sunset with like proper methods, and I'm also gonna use oil paints because in the previous cloud thing that I did here, I did it in acrylic paint, and it just looked, to me, it did not look good. Like, there was just something like weird about it because I wasn't like blending it correctly. Some of my brushes are a little old, so now I have very high hopes for oil paints, which this little guy up here, I took an oil painting class in New York. I have some footage of that class in some old vlogs. You can scroll down my channel and see. Let's try to at least make some good progress. I started on the sky. Okay, now I'm gonna cover this pink with the ocean. Let's see how this goes. I am actually sweating from that, and I did not anticipate how much paint it just takes just to do the base layers. I forgot how much paint I end up using and then kind of like wasting a little bit, but I think it's okay. I think it's looking more sunset-like than not, which is a good thing. There's a lot of work that I still need to do, but I think that once I let this dry and then go over in oil paints, that's when the blending is really gonna be nice. I just wanted to get the base down in acrylic because I have way more acrylic paint than I do oil paint. I only have these little tubes of oils, whereas I have like this ginormous acrylic paint. So I think this is good progress on the base layer. Wow, okay, it feels so good. It feels so good to have this painting behind me in progress because I have not painted in 8 months, I think. Cheers also to it being the weekend, starting a painting. The acrylic layer is drying right now, and then I'm gonna go in with my oil paints and hopefully make the blending just so much more smooth. I got back from a long weekend trip in Washington. I did a road trip in Seattle, Pacific Northwest. So refreshing, foggy coastline. I even went to Forks, Washington, which I had no idea that the Twilight series was gonna be like re-released in theaters or something, but I was a Twilight fiend when I was in middle school. Like, I literally read Breaking Dawn twice. I went to a book release and I got like this They had a scavenger hunt, and in the Barnes & Noble, if you could find the golden ticket, then you got the book for free, and I literally found it. I think I was 13 years old. That was a highlight of my 8th grade. I took the book home, devoured it, so it was so funny to be in like Forks, Washington. Honestly, like not much to like do or see there. I saw a couple of people like do the Twilight Museum, but it was a good access point for the coast. And now I'm back in New York City. It's the weekend. Gorgeous day outside. I did my marathon training run this morning. I painted. Oh, I feel like I'm like out of breath still because that took a lot of energy. I just hope that this inspires you to get out and make things, create things. I'm also gonna do another little journaling session, so I hope that you enjoy. Okay, this is the progress on my sunset painting. It's not perfect. This was a first pass. I spent all day doing this. It took a while for the acrylic paint to dry for the underpainting. I started mixing oils in again, and I kind of forgot how to use oil paints, even though I painted this one with oils, especially with trying to get out a lot of vividness from the colors. This was just kind of new, so I have a lot more work to do with the colors, with the clouds, but I'm really happy with how this is turning out. And this is actually a really, really big canvas for me, so I feel like I got a workout in. At one point, I was literally sweating so much I had to open the windows, put the AC on. Proud of this progress. And now I'm just gonna have a chill evening, hopefully go to sleep early. I will see you guys tomorrow. Start to the morning, but it looks really nice outside. Good morning. It's a Monday at, let's see, 5:30 a.m. and I'm gonna go on my run. Usually I film so much on the weekends because that's when I have the most free time, but I actually feel like I barely did because I spent all day on one of the days just painting, and then I like didn't do anything. And then yesterday it was raining in New York all day. It was just, I literally was just inside doing nothing. Week reset, and I'm just gonna see what I can film and get done this week. Let's do it. Back from my run, I got ready to go. A very boring outfit, but this cardigan I've had for several years. It's from Alex Mill. I really like it. I think I'm gonna get another one at some point. They're super expensive, but I feel like the material is actually very good quality. I feel like I've just been trying to figure out like what I actually want to do with my social media and my kind of like side hustles, because I have this big painting in the background, but I also have done like photography videos, travel videos, graphic design. I've dabbled in like outfits of the day and get ready with me and like running and stuff, so I just feel like I'm still a little bit all over the place. I was talking to someone the other week that does like investing basically, and they were like, if I were an investor in you, how would I look at your page? Like, are you posting every day? Are you consistent? Does it have like a clear message and a straight through line? Is this person someone that's gonna hustle and like put their all into it? If I were like investing in a company, a lot of it is about the founders, and I thought that that was a really good analogy because I think that's something I need to think about. Like, I think I actually need to put together documentation that more clearly outlines what my goals are, who I am as a founder of my side hustle. Like, what do I want this to be for people? Like, what problem is it solving for other people? What value is this bringing? I hope that if you're watching or are returning, that maybe you found inspiration, maybe it made you pick up a journal or try something new. I'm really still trying to figure this out because I feel like if I just went all into, let's say, fashion and beauty, there's already a huge creator economy for that, but do I really fit into that? I don't know. If I go all into painting and art, also, that's not the only things that I'm good at, and I don't know if I'm like an amazing artist either. Like, do I just want to thrust myself into paintings full time? So I feel like picking something is really difficult, but casting a very wide net also, I mean, I can't really tell, you know, like, but the analytics for my channels are kind of all over the place, and it did get super messed up because of like the COVID era, 2020 TikTok viral videos, and when people were just kind of like following. Yeah, interesting space to be, but again, this is all like what I'm working on personally, and thank God I have had many corporate jobs, career, education, master's degree, etc. So like, I think I'll be fine, but let me know if you ever have experienced something like this or what you think. Anyways, I gotta go. a.m. and I actually am on a rest day from my marathon training, so I have time to make a little bit more of an involved breakfast at home, which I normally don't do. I usually just have a coffee and then run out the door, but this oatmeal is looking okay. Sliced up some peaches. I'm gonna put some cinnamon and yogurt on it, and then I'm trying this new collagen packet that I found at Whole Foods. I like putting it in my coffee, and then finally got one of these little whisks. So let's see how this goes. Cool. Yeah, that was way too powerful. This is what happens when I try something new. I just make an absolute mess. Up that coffee disaster, and I have a beautiful homemade, well, not homemade cold brew, but I just mixed in collagen and milk, that's it. Wow, it actually feels nice to be doing something in the early morning. I do have to go and get ready to leave soon, but I started editing my Seattle video. I also edited a morning routine and I posted it. Also last night, I just like changed so many covers. Well, only 6, but it took me an hour to just do all of the edits on Adobe because I was looking at my Instagram page and it just looked so like chaotic to me. And not that the changes I made it any more coherent, but at least I tried just like revamping all of the fonts and like making it a little bit more clean because I have been struggling with like my aesthetic. It really is a skill to like maintain a consistent visual identity through and through, especially when you're doing like lifestyle content where your scenery is always changing. I'm just gonna edit a tiny bit more and then just get ready to go. The weekend, finally. I'm way too excited every time that I say this to the camera. It's just before 8 a.m. I got back from the gym. Feels so good to already have my workout done. I need to edit my Seattle vlog. I also got a pair of silk Reformation pants from Nordstrom, but they're too big, so I don't know if I'm gonna try to go to the physical store and return them because maybe they have them in stock and I can just exchange them there. I'm gonna do my morning routine, get ready, have my second coffee, breakfast, and settle in. I'm so excited. So it's September now. The summer is officially gone. I spent Labor Day weekend in the Pacific Northwest, mostly around Seattle. We did a really, really fun road trip, and I would highly recommend getting out west if you haven't been before, especially to Washington, because it is really far. I know a lot of people from New York have been to California, but when we were in Washington, a lot of people that we ended up speaking to had never been to New York before, and vice versa. We got back, hit the ground running back at work, and I have been trying my best to figure out what I want to do, like content wise. One of the main purchases that I have been debating is whether or not to upgrade this camera. So the current camera that I'm using is a Canon EOS RP. It came out in 2019, I want to say. I could be wrong, but it's pretty old. It's not cheap, but it is technically speaking a budget camera, and it's kind of like Canon's entry beginner friendly model to get into mirrorless full frame sensor cameras. So I bought this camera when I didn't know that much about filming, photography, or anything, but now that I have gotten myself a little bit more familiar with the universe of cameras that are out there and what the different purposes are and what the specs actually mean, which I highly recommend that you actually research into before you invest thousands of dollars into a camera and the lens. So now I'm aware that I actually don't have a really good video camera. So I'm really debating getting the Sony FX3 because I also really want to dip my toes into amateur, like, I'm not gonna say filmmaking because I feel like that sounds so pretentious in a way. It's really just a different creative muscle that I want to exercise. I also would love to make footage for other companies and brands and small businesses and even people, but I just feel like I need to upgrade my equipment and test it out a little bit more before I do that. But anyways, the world is a crazy place. There have been so many just awful, disturbing things that have been happening in the news. I don't even want to get into it, but that's been definitely weighing on me, as I'm sure it's been weighing on a ton of other people. So I just am trying to keep my head level, and that's why I do think it's important to have some outlets that you have. Put your phone down sometimes. Like, you have to do that. So this is my way of compartmentalizing. I have my coffee, getting ready, and focusing on how lucky I am, how grateful I am. I'm gonna journal and then start on some of my projects. Starting my editing on the Seattle vlog. I edited the intro a little bit, but I still have all of this footage to scrub through, so it's a lot. I love filming, I love documenting, but then I realize how much footage I have, and it's actually crazy. So if you want to get into content creation or vlogging or travel vlogs or literally anything, storage is crucial. So just keep that in mind, because I am definitely running into that with how many video files I have. It's finally my absolute favorite time of the week, the weekend. I have my 2 morning weekend beverages as usual, not including my water. My room behind me is an absolute mess because I just dropped off laundry. That's what I get to do on the weekend. Last night also, I got a kick to start my Seattle journal page. So the last YouTube video that I posted was my Pacific Northwest road trip. So I want to, of course, memorialize that in a little things travel sketchbook page. So I'm gonna try to finish this today and then make a little TikTok short form for it. I think it's turning out so cute already. I need to remind myself how fast I can do these, because I literally did the pencil sketch in maybe 20 or 30 minutes. I think that it comes to life when I go over it in ink. So I need to finish this. I also want to add to my books journal page. I also want to add another page to my all walk journal page. And I need to finish my August and now September monthly little things simple journal page. No, we're not done. Lastly, I do still want to finish my Idaho travel journal page. I also have a YouTube video of this Idaho trip. It's late September. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to actually finish all of this. Like, we'll see. I also need to edit this YouTube video. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. I also got this really nice email. I don't know if it's from a subscriber or maybe someone that stumbled across my YouTube. It was really nice. So thank you so much for emailing me. Comments and feedback really do help me keep going forward with making content, because one, it's fun for me, and I think that everyone should document their life in some sort of way. It definitely doesn't have to be on social media, but that's why I am trying to really promote journaling and writing, because I think that is an amazing way to ingest, process, and reflect on things that are happening to you and in the world around you. I think it also makes you more empathetic to other people's experiences once you start reflecting on your own and you kind of realize, oh, my life is like a medley and kaleidoscope of many different things, places, and experiences. Everyone's journey is different. Anyways, thank you so much for the feedback. Please, like, let me know what you want to see, what I could do more of, because as much as this channel is for me, I also recognize that just like when I watch other people's YouTube videos, like, I don't know, I always like it when creators are like, let me know like what you want to see, because it's true. I am thinking about you guys watching, like they're real human beings on the other end of this, which is so crazy. I hope that you enjoyed this vlog. This one was kind of interspersed. We will go from here, and I'm gonna continue filming this weekend and work on my journal page, which I really have to do. Very last thing, I had an exciting brand deal, and I'm so excited to film and finish that. I submitted the first draft, and the brand, like, hopefully is just gonna approve it next. This was awesome to work on. So yeah, another sign if you want to post or get into content, there are brands that are going to be a good match for you at some point. Okay, that's it. Until next time.